Today's call center versus yesterday's call center. 3 reasons your client needs an updated solution. Today's marketplace, small and medium-sized contact centers can get all the industry-leading call analytics for a fraction of the cost. Reporting tools and monitoring capabilities that were in the exclusive domain of large call centers are now available for small enterprises. Today's call centers are being provided by cloud-based solution providers. And because of this, and because of the advancements in technologies, there are benefits available today to the small call center that didn't even exist 5 years ago. If you have a client that runs a call center and they have not looked at the technology in 5 or more years, you will definitely want to watch this video. And of course, please feel free to pass it along. First thing I want to do is I want to compare the old call wrap-up process versus what we call recap using AI. If I'm doing a call wrap-up as an agent, I have to type notes in a wrap-up section on our CRM or whatever the call center software is. And keep in mind, you only get 60 seconds to record all your notes. Then you have to prepare for the next call. Remember, agents don't get paid for note-taking. They get paid to take calls. Wouldn't it be nice if the wrap-up process were automated? Call Recap uses AI technology in a good way to help the agent automatically recap an entire conversation into a complete document. Now, of course, the agent can add notes if he or she likes, but with AI Recap, the entire conversation is captured. Additionally, you can archive and send that conversation file to anyone in your organization. You could even send a thank you note to the client with a recap filled with action items. And that is because the software automatically gives you a list of action items. Now, your contact center as a whole can field more calls and document those calls accurately and quickly for future reference. Next thing I want to talk about is gauging customer sentiment. This is what some folks call performance analysis. The old way of gauging somebody's satisfaction would be using 2 tools. You'd be silently monitoring the call in the background if you were the manager, or you could review call recording once a conversation was done. In a traditional call center, the manager only has 2 choices. In practice, there's a few negatives to this approach. First, you can't expect an agent to act or perform naturally when he or she knows there's a manager listening in on the call. Second, a busy manager doesn't have time to listen to an entire recorded conversation. So what ends up happening is much of the time the opportunity for agent training is lost because it becomes too time-consuming and obtrusive to work with agents using these kinds of tools. Today's toolkit, we have tools that allow us to gauge customer sentiment much more efficiently and in a more positive manner. If I'm helping a client with a product return, the client says to me, I don't want a replacement, I just want my money back. If the phrase, I want my money back, is stored in our database, the AI tool will pick up on that phrase and highlight it in the documented conversation. Now the manager or the agent can look back at that conversation and find the highlighted moment right away. There's no need to forward or rewind an entire recording looking for the moment in question. Now the agent or the manager can review the moment and discuss better ways to handle the challenge. The agent is receiving better feedback, and the manager doesn't have to intrude on a phone call. End result, training time is more efficient, it's more positive, and it's more effective using this type of tool set. Here's another great benefit. I can use these documented recordings in our knowledge base. So those conversations can be stored in a number of ways for future use. Like Google, all of your keywords and key phrases are highlighted, they're cataloged for management for future reference. So let's say we want to train on a specific product and we want to make new agents aware of potential problems supporting the product. Hey, now we have a library at our beck and call that will help us teach those agents how to deal with those types of situations. Another big advantage that I want to highlight with today's contact center technology is this. Scalability is greatly enhanced compared to our older call center technologies. We can adapt to changing business conditions more efficiently than ever before. The old way, let's say 5 to 10 years ago, I would need to purchase equipment and software for today, hoping I can stretch that investment for the future. 10 years plus. Look at what we can do today with Contact Center as a Service. We can find and provide basic and advanced licenses for specific needs. I can sign up for short-term agreements versus spending a large capital outlay that I've got to keep on the books for 10 or more years. And these are dynamic services. Assuming that I choose a vendor that is committed to contact center technology, we can expect enhancements to come in early and often, which again enhances and keeps your investment viable for years to come. So here's our suggestions. First, work with a provider that is dedicated to contact center research and development. I'm not talking about some company that recently bought a smaller competitor. That's not research and development. That's mergers and acquisitions. And that's not the same thing. Second, make sure that you only sign up for the licensing that you need. Again, today's contact center as a service allows you more flexibility. Number 3, negotiate a downturn clause. Business environments change. Lord knows the economy changes. You may find yourself in a situation where, unfortunately, you have to let a few people go. If that's the case, you don't want to be shackled with licenses that you're not using. Lastly, negotiate an improvement clause. I mentioned before that the best providers are going to have research and development teams that are updating the software. You don't want to see anything that precludes you or keeps you from getting those improvements. So make sure that you have those or you can get those as part of the agreement.